The first learning style that I used in my OPV112 assessment period was the visual learning style. This is a style whereby I prefer to use graphics, colors, and maps in order for me to be able to communicate my ideas and thought on the lecture content provided. I need to be able to utilize the slides and the lecture content provided to me to the best of my abilities. Visual learning style requires a lot of discipline and good organization skills because this type of styles uses a lot of reading and writing methods for me to be able to grasp and gain understanding to the knowledge. The one tactic during this learning style that I used and implemented, of which was able to help me master and fully understand the content that was provided by the lecture, was the style of using highlighters and markers when writing and reading notes. This gave me an opportunity to be able to assess my strong points and my weak points in the OPV 122 assessment period, whereby when I was doing the revision, this required me to be able to know where I struggle the most and where I am able to master the content that was given to me. Part of the visual learning style is keeping organized and keeping all the things arranged in order. This requires for one to have a timetable and a due date notepad so that you could be able to navigate around all your modules and know which module you attend at which time. This will give you the opportunity to be able to plan a study timetable and a revision timetable according to the way your modules and the timetable is set. The visual learning plan requires also for one to have all the study materials that are needed, from notepads, pens, books, textbooks, study pads, and all other necessary materials. For me, I found this study method useful because I was able to attend all my OPV modules, all my OPV lectures, tutors, and sessions. This meant that I was up to date and keeping up with the content provided so that I did not have to spend time catching up whilst having to study also. And having a due date pad ensured that I do not miss any assessments in my OPV period or in my OPV assessment module. Also, this gave me the ability to be able to have sessions with the tutors, and I'll be able to ask them questions and have queries about the matters and factors of the OPV modules that I did not or I was not able to understand clearly. The second learning style I utilized during the OPV 112 assessment period was the solitary learning style. This is a more private style that I related to because it gives me a chance to be introspective and independent. Through this style, I am able to concentrate well on my studies, notes, and anything that has to do with the OPV module. I spend time on self-analysis and reflecting, thus meaning I spend time checking whether I understand certain points, I do not understand certain points, and how to overcome the points that I do not understand. And it also enables me to analyze different ways of thinking, able to assess my strong points and my weak points. It gives me an opportunity to be able to change my strategies without being influenced or relying on another person to come in and help me. Hence is why I found this type of learning style more useful and relatable to me. Through using both learning styles, I was able to perform at my best. Both learning styles helped me out in the sense that through using the styles, I was able to grasp the content that was being taught by the lecture to the best of my ability. It also gave me the ability and platform to be able to catch up to the lectures and content provided at my own pace. This was because I was able to write down notes according to my understanding, highlight areas where I had troubles, understanding so that I could be able to ask the tutors and the lecturers in the next or during the session. The most challenging experience I have is incorporating the lessons and the teachings that we got from the OPV112 assessment period into my daily life. This is because the OPV has sparked an interest on the type of teacher that I want to become. It is through the OPV module where I was able to gain light that there are different type of teachers and different type of teaching techniques or methods. I regard growth mindset as a way of thinking that has been instilled in me by the lecture content provided through the OPV 122 modules. This is so that I can be able to master the notion that failure is an opportunity for learning. There are various ways of which I incorporated the principles of growth mindset as part of my OPV 122 learning processes. This was so that I can be able to master and acknowledge and also embrace my imperfection and mistakes when it comes to my academics. For an instance, for my first continuous based test, I ensure that I implement my study style and study hard in order to obtain a good mark. However, this was not the case, but due to the fact that I applied the principles of growth mindset, I was able to motivate myself using the notion that failure is an opportunity for learning. And this enabled me to be able to try out different learning styles and consider other methods of learning. Hence is why I was able to obtain and do well in the following continuous based test.